Part 3. We are going to continue with solving linear equations. You will find this on page 115 in the Namibian Mathematics Grade 8 textbook, y equals mx plus c to success. Now, let's look at another example. Now, in the previous example, it was just 1x. So now we are going to change that coefficient to other numbers than 1. So it can be 2, 3, it can even become negative. Okay, so when we want to solve this, now in this case, if we want to draw a scale of it, there's not just only 1x, there is 2x. Can you see here? There's the 2 and there's the 8, and it's balanced. Okay, but now in order to keep that balance, I must just get the x terms alone on a side. So to get rid of that positive 2, I will subtract 2 on this side. So let's just look if you can see. I subtract 2. So if I subtract 2 on the left-hand side, I must also subtract 2 on the right-hand side. And basically, this is what I did there. I subtract 2 on both sides. And now, this is what I want. I want the 2's to cancel out because it's additive inverse numbers, positive 2 and negative 2. And then just the 2x is alone on this side. 8 minus 2 is 6. But I don't want 2, I want just 1. So I'm going to divide this into 2 and this also into 2. So I basically just divide 2 on this side and I divide 2 on this side. Because whatever I do on the one side, I must do on the other side if I want to keep the balance of the scale or the equation. So in this case, I will say 2 divided 2, it's 1x, and 6 divided 2 is 3. And again, I can test it by substituting it in there. So if you say 2 times 3, that will be 6. So 6 plus 2, that will be equal to 8. Okay. Okay, I want you again, you can stop the video and you do try now 3, number A, B, and C. As soon as you are finished, you can continue with the video. So let's look at try now 3. Okay, let's look at number A. It's also 2x, and it's plus 2, and it's 10. Now remember, I first want that 2x to be alone on a side, that term. So I actually want to get rid of the plus 2. Remember, grab the sign. So in order to cancel positive 2, I will subtract 2. And whatever I do on one side, I do on the other side. So I'm ending up with 2x plus the 2, then comes the minus 2, and then 10 minus 2. Then what will happen with this? It will cancel out as I planned. So then I will have 2x and 10 minus 2, that will be 8. I don't want 2, I want 1x. So I divide by 2 and I divide by 2. Whatever I do on one side, I do on the other side. And I will get my value of x is 4. And I can test it. 2 times 4, that will be 8, plus 2, that will be equal to 10. Let's look at number B. So in this case, I'm not having 2x, but I have 4x, and I have subtract 2, minus 2, and I have 14. But I'm going to do the same. I want 4x to be alone on the left-hand side. So I want to get rid of the negative 2. Remember, grab the sign. So what will cancel negative 2? The additive inverse will be plus 2. So if I add 2 on the left-hand side, I add 2 on the right-hand side. So basically, let's just write it. There was the minus 2. Then I add 2 on this side. And I also add 2 on this side. And now I can go and say, okay, this is what I planned. This cancel out. So I will have 4x. And 14 plus 2, what will that be? 16. I divide by 4. I divide by 4. And the value of x will be equal to 4. And let's see, 4 times 4, it's 16. Minus 2 will be equal to 14. Let's do the last one, number C. So this will be 3x minus 3 is equal to 9. Again, I want 3x to be alone. So I want to get rid of the negative 3. So what will cancel negative 3? Positive 3, opposite sign, same number. So basically, I'm having 3x minus 3. I add the 3 on this side, and I do exactly the same on that side. And then what will happen? This 3's will cancel, which I planned. This is 3x, 9, 10, 11, 12. I divide by 3. You always divide to get this 1x. You always divide, if there stands a 3, you divide by 3. If there stands a 4, you divide by 4. If there stands a 2, you divide by 2. If there stands a negative, you divide by a negative in order to get it positive. But we'll come to that. So if I divide a 3 on the left-hand side, I also divide 3 on the right-hand side. And then 12 divided by 3, what will that be? That will be 4. And we test it. 3 times 4 is 12. Minus 3 will be equal to 9. Okay. Let's go through example 4. Now the only difference is now it's not a positive x, but it's negative 4x. But I do exactly the same. I want the negative 4x to be alone on this side. So I want to get rid of the negative 1. And what's the additive inverse of negative 1? Positive 1. And if I add positive 1 on the left-hand side, I also add it on the right-hand side. Then I cancel out. And now, instead of just dividing by 4, I divide by negative 4 because I wanted positive 1x. And in order to get a positive, I must have two negative signs, an even amount. So if there's positive 4, I divide positive 4. But if it's negative, I divide by negative. And if I divide on this side by negative 4, I also divide on this side by negative 4. And then the value of x will be negative 2. And again, I showed you here, I substitute it and I see if the two sides are equal. Okay, I want you to try now 4, number A, B, and C. You can stop the video, and as soon as you are finished, you can continue with the video. It's always good to first try it on your own. Okay, so let's do try now. That's why it's called try now. First try, and then we do number A. So it's negative 2x minus 3 is equal to 9. Okay, I want to get negative 2x alone. I want to get rid of the negative 3. Remember, grab the sign. So what will cancel negative 3? Positive 3. So I will have negative 2x, there's the minus 3, and I add 3, there I add 3, and I do exactly the same to the other side. And now I just look, rewrite the negative 2x. This was in order to cancel out, so it cancelled out. 9, and this will be 12. And now, remember, I divide by a negative 2. Whatever I do on this left hand, I do on the right hand. And then I find x, and what will x be? Remember, there's just one negative. It's an odd number, so that's why the sign will be negative, and it will be negative 6. And you can again substitute. If it's negative 2 times negative 6, it will be positive 12 minus 3 will be equal to 9. Okay, let's look at number B. This was negative 5x minus 2, and that's 8. Again, I want the negative 5 alone. So I want to get rid of the negative 2, and that the additive inverse will be positive 2. So I also do positive 2 on this side. And then I just rewrite. There's the one I add, and there's the one I add on this side. So, oh, I forgot the x there. So if I rewrite it now, it's just, I'm going to rewrite. So it's negative 5x, and remember that this negative 2's cancel, and I will find 10, and now divide by negative 5. Because I wanted positive 1. So whatever stands in front of this x, the coefficient, exactly that same thing you divide with. And divide it on both sides. And then the value of x, there's only one negative. So it's a negative, it's an odd number, and it's 2. And you can again substitute negative 5 times negative 2 will be positive 10, minus 2 will be 8. And now let's look at number C. It's negative 3x plus 3 is equal to 6. Remember, I want negative 3x alone on a side. So get rid of positive 3. And what will be the additive inverse? Negative 3 on both sides. So basically, I'm having negative 3x. There was the original plus 3. Then I subtract 3. And I subtract 3. And then it's negative. Okay, remember this cancel out. This was my whole idea. So I will have negative 3x. and 6 minus 3, that will be 3. I divide by negative 3, and I divide by negative. So whatever I divide on one side, I also divide on the other side. There's only one negative, so that's why it's an odd, and it stays negative. 3 divided 3 is 1. And we can test it. Negative 3 times negative 1 is positive 3, plus another 3 will be equal to 6.